Hello and welcome to What's Trending Today YouTube channel. And if you're new here, please subscribe.
News show, we have to begin. Once again, Capo Daniel. Before I bring in Capo Daniel to speak, let me officially inform this platform and all those who are joining in that I have not prepared any questions for Capo Daniel. Capo Daniel will be asked questions according to what he will say. I will begin by asking him what took him to Nigeria, who sponsored his trip, what motivated him to go to Nigeria, and from what he will be saying step by step, I will be asking him questions that will arise from his statement. So there has been no pre-prepared questions. We haven't talked about it, and whatever you say here, I haven't heard it anywhere because I've said I want to join in the moment to be excited, that anxiety to get what he came with from Nigeria. As well, I'll be reading also your comments, and from your comments I'll be able to ask him certain follow-up questions. I want to remind our audience that this show or whatever will be said, it is different from what the interim government has in stock. We know that the interim government has created a committee. In fact, there's an intention to create a committee. We have not yet seen any committee to investigate the issue, so we don't know what the name of the committee. So we will not get into that. We will focus on what Capo Daniel has from Nigeria, what he knows, who he spoke with, and all of that. So, Capo Daniel, welcome to this show.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. So I'm very happy for the introduction. I would not. Maybe I still introduce myself to your platform again. I'm Capo Daniel. I would like to call myself a civil liberty activist because there are many activists. Activists means that you are actively campaigning for something, and I'm very much involved in the issue concerning civil liberty, and that is what drew me into our struggle. So I went to Nigeria on the back of the news that came out that new Southern Cameroonians were arrested, because this time it was official arrest in Calabar. And when I heard this message, it hit me just as equally as the adoption of our leader SISIKOU hit me. It broke my bones, it broke my morale. And I lie down on my bed, and all I could think was the word of AYUK TABE.
So, Capo, if I should come in, so you are saying that what engineered your move to Nigeria was the fact that some days back, 8 Amazonians were also abducted from a hotel in Calabar. Is that the reason? Is that the motivational factor that drove you to Nigeria?
I have been thinking about doing the investigation, but what made me to book that flight and board that flight and go to Nigeria, irrespective of the risks, because I've always been worried about the security situation, was the immediate arrest of the people in Calabar. When that happened, I just took the next flight.
Okay.
Without thinking. Yeah.
So that was a personal move. Nobody sponsored your trip, your hotel.
Nobody sponsored my trip. Nobody sponsored my hotel. I contacted a few people when I was already in the airport to go, just to have my back, so that in case I go there and something happened, they may talk to people to create awareness of my situation. I also pre-record some videos and send to specific people, about 3 of them. In case something happens to me, they can release it, explaining to them what my mind state at that moment, what I was thinking, what I was suspecting, and exactly what I was intending to do, so that I will leave a footprint in case I disappeared. So that is what happened. The immediate trigger, I was thinking about the investigation. I had actually already contacted some people on the ground who helped me. Majority of them local Nigerian people who are involved in, who are experts. So I'd already had all these contacts before. But what triggered me to go was when those people were arrested. I leave, I think, the next flight after that.
Okay, so it is important that our audience is aware that your move to Nigeria is all a private affair, a private investigation for Capo Daniel and by Capo Daniel.
Exactly. Right? That's right.
Okay, tell us when you arrive in Nigeria, what happened?
When I arrived in the airport, it was very nerving. You know, naturally you must be afraid because that is your instinct that keeps you on guard. So I reached there at the airport. I don't know whether my name will be will be flagged or not. So I choose to land in Lagos because Lagos is very busy. Just in case their computers have to be jammed or things like that. So I prefer to land in Lagos. So I landed in Lagos. I walked down there. I take a last video again before I was going into the immigration and tried to send it, and it did not go. Thank God that one didn't go. I hope anybody that had received my video before, they will have to delete them. So I went through the immigration, and I checked through the immigration without any problem. The Nigerians, as usual, they were very welcoming, and I spoke to them in Pidgin, and I felt home. Much better experience than I would ever have in any airport.
Okay. So you slept in Abuja. Abuja? You slept in Abuja?
No, in Lagos. I landed in Lagos.
Yeah.
And then I booked a flight in Lagos, but I could not book a flight because I arrived in the evening. There was no flight that night. I booked another flight for the next morning to Abuja. So I had to take a hotel for that night, and then I stayed that night in Lagos. When I arrived there, I received now messages from some friends who were also in Lagos, some journalists who were in Lagos, and then they wanted me to come over to meet them. Fortunately, I didn't know that we who are activists abroad, we have fans from home who are professional journalists. I was invited over to meet Eli Smith, who really wanted to meet me just like a brother, for nothing political, no hidden agenda. I went to his hotel. I met Eli Smith. I happened to bump into the director of BBC in Nigeria. And I had a lot of, in that social environment, I had a very deep conversation with a lot of high-profile people regarding our struggle as well.
All right. Tell us. You were now in Abuja, right? In Abuja.
In Lagos. The first day.
Yes, you left Lagos to Abuja, where the NARA hotel is.
Yes.
Okay. Now, we want to trace your footsteps now to NARA Hotel. Tell us, you went to NARA Hotel. What happened?
Okay, before I went to NARA Hotel, I had two contacts in Nigeria who were to help me. One was a bar association member in Nigeria whom I met through a recommendation of a pastor who has been in Nigeria, that I've been in communication with the pastor, a Nigerian pastor. He introduced me to a lawyer, a military lawyer who works with the legal department of the Nigerian Navy. And she also worked for the Nigerian Military Tribunal. So she met me the next day, and she advised me about my rights that I have in Nigeria, how she can be able to protect or intervene in any situation, and how she can help me in my investigation. So I paid her some money so that she can work for me as an investigator alongside with me. So she assisted my investigation and was very, very instrumental. She went into places and asked questions that I was asking through her. And she could not prepare any video recording, but we pretty much very
okay. This platform is excited. We are eager because our focus is NARA Hotel. On the 5th of January, Ambazonian leaders were abducted by gunmen in NARA Hotel. What did you find out from the hotel in regards to this?
Okay, what I find out is very important because, let me just say this before I get into your question. You know, the way we had received our leader, AYUK TABE, somebody whom we never knew. And when he came to the scene, for the first time, we had a leader we can really call our own. We had embraced him, loved him. You can see behind me, that is his picture. There are women who goes to church. We heard the stories of a woman who went to church to pray for SISIKOU. We love SISIKOU. When he was adopted, I could not sleep. I lose my appetite. I actually lose 6 kg because of that. So I believe that the people would want to see the hotel. The people want to have an image where our leader was adopted. Out of a sudden, the leader we love was just disappeared and we have no information. And La République du Cameroon is using it, the absence of information, to torture us. So I wanted to give our people an insight of this hotel to see where he lived, where he was adopted and everything. So that morning, I made 2 initial visits to that hotel, to visit the room where they had the meeting, to walk down the place where he worked onto where he was adopted. And I have this in video recording. This video recording, I will release them because they are just basically undercover video footage to show people what that place is. I think they deserve to have these images. So I arrived there the first day. It was very, very nerving, as you can know. I was already warned that that hotel is alert because of that incident, and their workers there might have been briefed already against people who might come there to find information and stuff like that. So they were alert. So when I arrived, the person whom I had met, the local Nigerian whom I have met, the investigator was to meet me, but she came late. So I just decided to go there. The other security guy whom I worked with, who I also he was assisting me, he was afraid to go inside. So, but I said that I have to do this. I just went inside. I went straight to the hotel lobby. I was afraid of my accent. Maybe they'll know that I'm from abroad. So I went there. I spoke with them, and nothing happened. But you could see that they were really. They were like, what are you?
Thanks for watching, and do not forget to hit the subscribe button.
Anybody
See you next time.
When you're not like in a busy place in Abuja, where anybody can just